So welcome and thank you for clicking the button to subscribe. That would be awesome. But what we're going to be talking about today, and the reason why I wanted to start this YouTube channel really is because I talk about so many things in the treatment room with my clients that have absolutely nothing to do with skincare and facials. I feel like, you know, skincare is definitely my calling. It's something that I'm very passionate about, but I think even more so, it's my connection to people that keeps my clients continuously coming back, right? So I turn out to be like a mini therapist, right? You know, a matchmaker, a goal, you know, helping you setting your goals, like all these things. If you're not sleeping, we talk about in the treatment room. And I just thought it'd be an interesting concept to bring those things to a channel, because I do feel like a lot of what I talk about with my clients is useful as a whole to women, you know, particularly women of color, because I think we're all, you know, striving for the same things, even though we're coming from different vantage points. And just overall, like having people see that, like, when you invest in self-care, and when I say self-care, I don't just mean like coming to get a facial. I mean like having a morning cup of coffee, which, by the way, I'm gonna take a sip of mine. That's delicious. But really, what I talk about with my clients a lot is that they need to put themselves first. And I think that's how I believe, although I am doing facials, it's a conduit for communicating that message to women and to my audience, because I do believe self-care to be a business plan, that when you look your best, when you feel your best, when you're doing the things that make you feel like you're living, not just as a treat, but every single day, then it becomes your setup and business plan for being able to show up in the world. And so that was one of the reasons why I said I definitely needed to start this channel, because I feel like a lot of conversations, which obviously will be anonymous, are useful to just the entire world. So today I want to talk to you about self-care, exactly as I stated, being a business plan. So one of the pushbacks that I always get when it comes to understanding why you need to have self-care every day, or why you need a facial every month, is, oh, I don't want to, you know, you're looking at your budget, you're looking at all these different factors. Oh, I don't have the time. And a lot of times it's not even about the money. It's about, I don't have time, right? I don't have the time. I have kids. I have, you know, work responsibilities. I have all these things, right? We come up with all the excuses, and I'm sorry, that's just what they are. Listen, I got kids, okay? I have a 26-year-old and I have a 4-year-old. Yes, my kids are 21 years apart, if you did not know, okay? I've been a single parent. I've been a teenage parent. I'm a married mother now. So I have had all the things, right? But one thing that's about me is that, if you also know my background, I also graduated from NYU, working a full-time job in the day and going to school full-time at night, right? And this is before I knew, you know, like before I had any sort of like support, like family support, whatever you don't have in order to accomplish something. I didn't have any of that, right? So for me, I've always made sure that whatever I wanted to do, I found the time. And what I realized that is in this role that I'm in, this journey that I'm on in self-care and giving people self-care, is the reason why I'm so passionate about it, is because I want people to understand that time is something that you literally have to make for yourself if you want to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. And self-care for me at that time, when I say, for example, you know, 20 plus years ago, when I was a single parent, self-care for me was going to school. You know why? Because I knew that going to school was going, in those little moments when I was having like all of this sort of like difficulty and just like trying to find a babysitter and all these things that could have possibly stopped me. I knew at that time, and I'm talking about like I was 24, 25 years old, I knew that if I did not accomplish those things, then later on I would regret it, right? And here's my main thing to you all, and this is something that I say to my clients all the time. I want all the shit. I want all the shit. I want the house, I want the car, I want the vacations, I want the time off, I want to be the fucking boss, I want all the shit. And for me at that time, that's the reason why I set those goals, because I knew if I was going to get all the shit, I had to do all the shit. So Whether or not you like agree with that or not, because it sounds materialistic, then baby, call me materialistic, because I want all the material shit. I want all the time. Listen, I want all the things that you can't put a price on. Yes, I want those too, but I want everything. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. And I feel like women, especially black women, we tend to say, oh, you need to be humble. And people always try to humble us and try to make us feel like we're not supposed to want these things. Baby, call me money hungry, call me materialistic. I don't care. I want all the shit. I want it all. So at that time, as I said, that was my thought process. So now, being 44, what is important to me, right? Having clients that come to me that are in their, late 20s, I would say to like mid 40s, like what do they want? Because they've kind of like overcome that space where like they've mostly graduated school or are deep in their careers. School obviously is something that is not for everyone, but if they have graduated, they mostly have graduated. Some of them have 2-3 degrees, and then sometimes they still come and they're very empty. And my question is why? My question is, why are we feeling empty when we have what we thought was everything, right? And so my aha moment was, and this also is something that I felt like I would struggle with, right? Like I would accomplish all of these things and then I'd be always looking for the next thing and the next thing. And I'm like, wait, hold on. This can't be it, right? And this is not recently. This is something I discovered many moons ago. But like, this can't just be it, just accomplishing all these things and then not still having this feeling of like, what am I missing? Or having to accomplish the next thing because you don't take the time to sort of savor the thing that you just acquired, right? And in this journey, what I found is that it's really about enjoying the everyday, right? Because these things that we acquire, these things that we get, these are things that are temporary and they're the highlight reel of our lives. So what do you need to do every day in order for you to always have that feeling of the roller coaster, the high? How do you feel that every day? And so for me, it's really about self-care. So if self-care is you buying your $7 cup of coffee, do not let people on the internet make you feel bad for buying your $7 cup of coffee, because that shit keeps you going to doing what you need to go pick up them kids, to go be at this job that you may or may not want to be at, but you're making really good money. And then maybe that's propelling you to do something else later on. Buy that coffee. If you need to buy a really nice, outfit, because that's what makes you feel good and you're a person that's really into clothes and those things, do those things. Because what I'm saying is, overall, is that when we do the things that we love that make us feel like us, right? Me, I want my coffee, I want my red lip, my nails should be done, but they're not, they will be. Getting a massage, making a massage monthly. I do not play with my massages, okay? All these little things, right? Even if it's just like a simple thing, a walk in the park, those are the things that help us be boss bitches. So, and I'm sorry if you're offended if you don't like this language, but if you don't like it, I'm not the person for you, because I literally have no filter, and I mean things with the greatest of intention. And I hope that comes through. But my point to you is, we really need to take stock of doing things that make us feel like us, because when you don't, that's why everything that you work for, that's this high that you think you're on, and you get it and you're like, okay, what's next? Because you aren't fulfilling yourself every single day. And I want us to stop taking little things for granted and saying that it doesn't matter, right? Or I can do it tomorrow. So let me give you an example, right? You have kids. You would love to sort of, have 5 minutes to yourself during the day. And that 5 minutes could be a cup of coffee. That 5 minutes could be, like a meditation. That 5 minutes could be taking a really nice shower. That 5 minutes could be, like doing your skincare routine. Of course, I'm always going to throw skin in there. But then like your little baby, who is like the smartest person on the earth and way smarter than you. And I know, because I'm seeing it now from a whole different spectrum, and now I know better to look for it. So it's like, I have a 4-year-old and she's very good at, mommy, I need this, mommy, I need that. Whenever I'm trying to do something for me, don't they do it? They will do it to you. So my point is that you literally have to set the boundary of like, okay, yes, you need those things, but I need me. Right? So you need you before you can give to anyone else. And so I really feel like we need to start learning how to almost have like a 30-day calendar of for the month of January. And the reason, again, why I want us to start this channel now is because we're about to end the year and we're beginning a new year. And I want us to get in the habit, if you haven't already, at the beginning of the year, to putting together a schedule for yourself. And again, this doesn't have to be anything, you know, that's extravagant, right? It can be, or it doesn't have to be, right? It's whatever, choose your extravagant, right? You know, on the first, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee, I'm gonna spend 5 minutes with myself, right? On the second, I'm gonna buy myself, you know, this pair of underwear that is lacking, that I have not bought underwear in 6 months or 4 months, and just buy it and not buy the kids anything. Because I'm gonna tell you something, mothers, stop buying your kids shit when you don't have shit in your closet, okay? I am good for that. I used to be like that, like with my first daughter, and now I see myself kind of slipping into it with my youngest, and I'm like, okay, cut the shit. So starting January, that's one of my goals. Like, my closet is about to be extra lit. And not that I don't have clothes, but baby, why am I buying this baby all these clothes that they gonna buy for, you know, grow out of? And I'm sitting up here going, oh, I need a new pair of jeans. Absolutely not, right? So maybe that's January 2nd. And then on the 3rd, you're like, I'm gonna take a walk. I'm gonna leave these kids with my mother, their father, whoever. I'm gonna take a walk, and I'm just gonna, you know, go out with just me. And then you have your extravagant things, if you think, you know, if you have the budget for it and you feel like that's something that you want to do. So for me, something that I'm very, very good at is once a month I take myself to dinner. And I don't mean like call a girlfriend and let's go out to dinner. No, baby, I mean just me. I have a favorite restaurant that I absolutely love. It is not an extravagant restaurant. I don't tell anybody about this restaurant unless I really want to, if I really like you, and I might want to invite you. But when I tell you, I am literally there once a month for dinner by myself. And sometimes it's not for dinner, sometimes it's for lunch. But on the weekends, I'm usually pretty busy with clients. So if I can't get to lunch, I'll make it a dinner. I'm telling my husband I'm going to be home late. He don't need to know why I'm late. He ain't gonna ask me no questions anyway. That's just not the way he's built, which is awesome. That's the type of person that I need in my life. And I'm going to take myself to dinner once a month, every month. That's something that is a must for me. It's in my calendar. I schedule it with myself because that is what's important to me, and it makes me feel like I did something for me. That's what I mean by like literally using self-care as a business plan, because I can guarantee you, if I don't do that at least once a month for myself, then I feel like I didn't take care of me. And so when you show up in the world, you feel untaken care of, right? So that's the way you kind of show up. Right? When I don't get my monthly massages, and how can I be not getting a monthly massage when I'm leaning over and bending over and doing all this contortionist type of moves when I'm giving facials, but I'm not getting, you know, I'm not getting a massage? No, I need my massages because that helps me show up in the room feeling rested, feeling restored, feeling like I am ready to take on anything my client throws at me, answer any questions, and just be more present. So this is why I do those things for me, because I feel like it helps me show up in the world. And that's why I say, if you take care of yourself, it will show up in so many ways in your life that you don't realize. It'll show up in your motherhood. It'll show up in your job. It'll show up in your, you know, your relationships with your spouse or your friends. Because I feel like women, and I'm really, you know, because I'm a Black woman, I'm talking from my vantage point, but I really do feel like Black women tend to do all of these silent, you know, silent things in terms of tasks that we don't realize how much we're actually doing, right? When you are, yes, you and your husband, or you and your boyfriend, or you and your spouse might both take care of the kids, but the kids are asking you 85 times out of the day to do something versus the time they ask for 2 because you're mommy. So you wind up doing all of these sort of silent tasks that you don't realize that you're doing. And so you are just literally taking on more and not doing enough to replenish yourself. So that is why I really am big on what am I doing today for me? Not 3 weeks from now when I feel like I deserve it. Not in a month when I feel like I'm gonna have the money. No, baby, it's not about the money. It's about if I need to restore myself now. Later, I'm gonna worry about later. I'm gonna figure out how I can pay for what I need to pay for, or do the thing that doesn't cost me any money to make myself feel like I know I can take on the world. I wanna do that now because I want all the shit now, right? Why are you waiting for later? Why are you planning your birthday tomorrow? I'm gonna go away in 6 months and then that's gonna be my reprieve. 6 months from now, baby, you're gonna be exhausted, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be burnt out. You can't even enjoy the vacation. So start planning your 2023 to invest in your self-care every single day. Not, oh, every 3 weeks. No. Every day. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 2 minutes. Actually, I do care if it's 2 minutes. It should be a minimum of 10 minutes, okay? So the 10 minutes for me is like, I go to the gym every single morning. I work out every single day. There's nothing that's getting in my workout. Nothing that's gonna get in the way of my workout, right? So every now and again, if I have something really crazy going on, yes, I might not get to do it early. And maybe I might skip a day or two. And I think obviously we all need rest when you work out as well. But I was a dancer. I shouldn't say was, baby, I am a dancer, okay? Don't get me on a dance floor. I'm a dancer. I've always been very athletic. So working out is extremely important to me. That's always gonna be part of my self-care plan. Having a cup of coffee, sorry. Yes, I do skin, but let me tell you what, I'm never giving up coffee ever. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee a day. And if I'm outside and the coffee is $7, I'm buying that $7 coffee. You know why? Because I work hard, and why the hell would I not spend $7 on myself? Again, spending $7 on myself, but then buy my baby $400 worth of clothes and being like, ooh, I can't buy myself a cup of $7 coffee. Go to hell, I'm buying my coffee. So buying my coffee, that's definitely going to be part of my daily plan. My skincare routine, it's just because I've been doing it for so long, and I've always, even before I was into skincare, always did skincare. That's going to be part of my routine on a daily basis. Of course, you're going to have days that you're off. No one is perfect, right? But I guess my point to you is that I find these moments and I'm very aware that I'm making it a moment. I'm not letting it pass me by that I am making this a moment for me, because again, these small things that you do, just like anything you do in life, just like me going to school when I was a single parent, and people were like, it's no way that you can possibly do all these things. And all I did was put my head down and do the small things every day. And those small things add up. And that's what I realized in my life, is that success, when we say, oh, someone is successful, oh, they run a successful business, oh, they're successful in life. It's not that you might see the one thing that you feel is success, but what it really is the small things that they did every single day that make them successful in that long term, the long run, the one thing that you see. But the fact is, they were preparing for success every single day. And so you have to think of your self-care in the same way. You have to prepare for your well-being. You have to prepare for your feeling like I'm a fucking boss every single day. You cannot just do it one time every 6 months and then think that's gonna carry you for the rest of the year. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna feel good for that 5 minutes because you took that 6-day vacation, but then it's 365 days of the year. So 360 days you're feeling like shit, or feeling like you're just going through your life and not really taking care of yourself. And for 5 whole days, now you get to feel like you the fucking boss. No, stop doing that shit. We're not doing that anymore in 2023. Take care of yourself every day. Literally, I want you to have a calendar starting January 2023 about how you're gonna take care of yourself every single day. You, not the kids, not your husband, not your girlfriends, not going by yourself. You learn how to be with you, learn how to take care of you. That is your task for 2023 at the very beginning. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to create a template for you to start tracking that at the beginning of the year. It will give you a start. It will at least start you in January, where I will give you suggestions for things that on January 1st, this is what you're gonna do, and this is how you're gonna carry yourself all the way through the end of the month. And so I will give you suggestions to kind of get you started, but also I will give you a booklet, a free e-booklet, so that you can start writing in your own, right? So I give you January, you start filling in February. And then along the way, it becomes a routine. It becomes something that is, hey, I don't have to think about this anymore because I know my 5 minutes. For example, I don't think about my coffee, right? My 5 minutes in my coffee, I know what's happening. It's like clockwork. But I want you to get into the habit of understanding that you need to take care of yourself every day. Self-care, when we're using this term self-care, like it has to be a one-time event, and that is the problem. Self-care has to be every day, or you're gonna feel like shit for most of the year, and then have this one event that's grand, just like all the grand events I mentioned, right? The sort of like the plateaus, the graduations, the getting married, all these big plateaus. You're gonna have all the big plateaus, and everything in between is gonna be gray. Like, why do you want that? Why do you not want all the shit? We want all the shit. So I want you to start planning starting January to have all the shit. And like I said, I'm gonna give you a tool to start doing that. And I was just like, oh, what am I gonna call it? I'm literally gonna call it We Want All the Shit. Because I've said that so many times in this YouTube, but that's what we're aiming to have, right? So all the shit, but you want all the shit every day, okay? So I will definitely be back with another YouTube episode. This is definitely new for me, so I'm excited for this journey. But I, again, thought that this would be something that would be great to start, because we need to have more women talking about, you know, all these things that I discuss with my clients on a weekly, you know, daily basis, and really bringing them to the forefront. So I hope that you continue to follow me, and I want you, again, let's have all the shit in 2023, and we'll start fresh, new together. All right, take care.